Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another session of our Laz-Talk. Again, another episode where we bring you more insights into the insights of Lazada, and of course introduce you what Lazada actually is and more different teams and different functions, how they actually contribute to the Lazada ecosystem. So today we have actually Elizabeth from the new retail team itself to talk about some of the things about that is regarding new retail. So I think to start off, Elizabeth, can you firstly introduce yourself and describe to the audience what is new retail? I think new retail is a very new concept also.
Hi everyone, I'm Elizabeth from the New Retail team. So basically, we run two programs right now at the moment. So firstly, it's the offline to online program. So basically, for all the offline shows that you have been seeing, be it the EL Grand Online Tech Show or even the Mother Baby Mita's Fair, and also come home to Lazada, powered by Lazada. Those sort of offline event, we are trying to bring Lazada app to the offline space so that you guys can experience us physically. And then at the same time, we also have another program called the Lazada Store Pickup. So it's basically a self-collection function. So whenever you purchase from Lazada app, you can actually have the option to go down to the seller store to collect the item and even experience their store offline. Yeah, so this is basically the two programs under us.
So I think Elizabeth mentioned was purely to say that new retail means that how do we actually bridge the differences between retail as well as the online space itself. As well, everyone knows Lazada is primarily very online e-commerce. But essentially this year round we see retail reopening because of the endemic situation that is happening, and then of course definitely Lazada is always exploring solutions to see how we can bridge the gap between retail as well as the online space itself. So I think like Elizabeth really can just talk about how does a consumer, if they go to any of the above event that you mentioned, like Mita's, like come home to Lazada as well as Grand Online Tech Show, am I correct, right? So
Yes, correct.
How does the purchase process work for if I'm a consumer, if I go to any of these offline spaces?
So basically, you just need to have your Lazada app ready when you're going to the space, and then as you enter into space, each and every product will actually be tagged to a QR code, and when you scan the QR code, it actually directly lands you to the product page of the item. So in the product page, you can see a lot of like specs that you regularly see during online. So for example, like the Grand Online Tech Show, you'll see how many decibel the audio system will sound like and stuff like that. But being in the physical event itself, you can actually experience it physically, like how it actually sounds, other than just seeing the number on the screen. Yeah, so once you go around the fair and then you visit different seller booths and stuff like that, you scan the different QR codes, you can actually add to cart. Not to worry, you can actually like just leave it in your cart, and if you need more time to consider, and then maybe check it out at home. But if you do actually check out at the space itself, some of the sellers actually do opt in for store pickup, and you can actually collect the items right off the spot at the event. Yeah, so with this whole program, you can collect the items immediately, or actually if you were to choose to go back home and decide to purchase, the items can still be delivered to your space at the comfort of your own home. Yeah.
So I think the end process was that all this is actually made possible by the key mechanics that we have been developing for quite some time, which is actually the store pickup mechanics itself. So this is something that is not, I think for people for sellers who have been with us for quite some, this is not a very new mechanics, but we have been reinventing the wheel, and then reinventing the wheel as in using these mechanics to allow offline events that has happened itself. So I think basically, I think you mentioned a bit on how the store pickup process actually works. Like they can actually just see the products on site or even on the Lazada app and select one of the store pickup locations that is listed on the seller app itself. So of course, next question is who can actually apply for all these store pickup situations? Because for a curious seller, I say, hey, this sounds very interesting, I might want to try. How do I actually apply for this store pickup?
Yeah, so like what Wei-Lun has rightfully mentioned, we have been re-innovating and trying to make things better for every one of us. So in the past, store pickup used to be by invite only. So Last Mall and marketplace sellers would need to sign up via a sign up link to get access to it. Right now, from 1st September onwards, all Last Mall sellers will actually get access to this store pickup on their ASC page directly. However, for marketplace seller, you guys will still need to sign up via our sign up link. We will provide it shortly, and then at the same time, you need to submit to us a few documents. So number one is that you need to show us a physical a picture of your physical store presence. So it can be a retail store, a warehouse, or office. Unfortunately, home-based businesses do not qualify. At the same time, you need to present to us your ACRA document, and then just commit to us that you will be able to RTS all store pickup orders within 48 hours, and then submit application, and then we will review, and you'll get notification when the store pickup is ready for you guys. Yeah.
Okay, so in short, last mile sellers, congratulations to you. You will get this functionality on the 1st of September on all your last mile accounts itself. So it will be available as one of your options that you can select for your consumers itself. Of course, if you have many retail stores, you can always so how does it work if you have many retail stores? That's the question I think people will start to ask also.
So right now at the moment, you can create a few pickup locations. So mean to say, you can create a few store locations. We are working on a warehouse, multi-warehouse system where we can separate the warehouse. But unfortunately for right now, all the stocks of what you're listed within the stores will actually be tied back to your Lazada store system. So just need to take note that as long as your online stock quantity is available, it will be available for store pickup as well. And no matter how many locations you have, there's no limit in the location.
Okay, but consumers, when I choose, I can definitely only choose one of the pickup points that is listed in there, right? To pick up my item.
So at checkout, if let's say SKU 1 has you need to pick up at Orchard, but SKU 2 you can only pick it up at Tiong Bahru. So if the customer wants to pick up at 2 different locations, they can actually check out within one checkout page. So they can select based on with every individual SKU.
Okay, so I think you really have to experience it, but I think it makes sense. Like as a consumer, you choose where you want to pick up your products based on the availability of the products itself at various places itself. That's definitely the best. Of course, like, for example, if you need the thing urgently, then that store pickup is definitely something for you. If you don't want to wait for the 3PL service to send it to your doorstep itself. So I think joining this program definitely sounds very excellent at point from like, I do get additional functionality. I do get if I own a retail store, I get additional ways to actually drive traffic for my retail store itself, and it's definitely a plus point. What other incentive are we giving to this store pickup sellers who actually opt into this store pickup functionality?
So great news. So we actually also will be giving you guys additional visibility if you fulfill 2 criteria. So number one way to get visibility with us is that you continue to be a so-called best service excellence store pickup sellers. So meaning to say there are 2 criteria of that. One is that you need to RTS within 24 hours, even though we recommend 48 hours. 24 hours is really the service excellence level. And then the second one is that for all store pickup orders, you will only hit a less than 1% cancellation rate. So with that, on a monthly basis, whenever there's a single digit campaign or a mega campaign, we will usually use the data of your last month, and if you qualify for it, you actually get a special invite via your IM push, and you just need to nominate your SKUs, and then we will feature you guys on our campaign pages. So usually you probably need to purchase it, or you probably need to hit a certain amount and stuff like that in terms of your product quality and stuff like that. But with us, just fulfill those 2 criteria, you'll be able to get that. The second way of doing it is that you actually create any store pickup seller voucher. So meaning to say these seller vouchers are funded by you guys, but upfront we will actually feature you guys in our voucher page and even your campaign page.
So definitely, again, we do provide and help you in terms of giving you additional visibility as you actually opt in. But of course, that only coupled with, of course, you being operationally very well, in terms of very good, in terms of providing the best experience for the consumer itself. Because as a consumer who regularly even if you do store pickup, they will of course definitely want a faster fulfillment process, and when that's the only reason why they choose a store pickup as opposed to choosing a delivery to a home itself, right? So I think as a seller who is ready to onboard this, what are some of the tips and tricks or best practices that you can actually pitch to a new seller who's going to actually try this new functionality, which is the store pickup?
So I think a lot of people right now, based on what we are seeing in terms of consumer behavior, a lot of these stock pickup buyers, they actually want their items urgently. So number one, having RTS ASAP is the best customer experience that you can give to your customer. Number two is that in the event that like you worry if a customer doesn't go down to your shop and collect the items in time, actually within 14 days from RTS, if the customer doesn't pick it up from your store, their auto cancellation will kick in. But not to worry, your cancellation rate will not be affected. It's just something that we want to hold you guys, help you guys in terms of like securing the stocks for the customers as well. Yep. I think that's about it. Like.
Yeah, I think main thing for seller, really what we really mentioned is being operational, operationally well. So I think you have to really RTS very fast. Of course, I think one of the additional things you can do is like, I think we can what Elizabeth really mentioned earlier is to really create a voucher that's only available for store pickup itself. But of course, if sellers, definitely you can help us by actually like putting some collaterals that's showing that you are doing some form of store pickup on the Lazada, with Lazada, and having a store pickup that's readily available that if they purchase on the Lazada platform itself. Okay, so we welcome sellers to definitely help us with the additional visibility that would help us also promote these new things that will help. But of course, this one is also one of the mechanics that allow us to make our O2O events, which is our online to offline events, a great success, which is this mechanic, because people can choose to take it on offline or choose to buy online because they don't want to carry the item eventually back to their home space itself. Again, it's about convenience. Everything we do is about convenience, bringing convenience to consumers itself. So I think sellers will definitely ask these kind of questions. So if I'm a seller and then I have delivered by sales enabled for this specific, let's say I sell a 55-inch TV, and is it available? Can I use stock pickup for a DBS product?
Yes, for DBS product it qualifies for stock pickup. So even if it's a TV, if customer just want to go down to like double check their item, especially for expensive item, like we do see like electronics, that sort of things, they want to go down to the store, verify the item and stuff like that before carrying back home themselves. You can do it for stock pickup. But those sellers who are fulfilled by Lazada, that means FBL, they do not qualify for stock pickup. So everyone else will qualify for stock pickup. Yeah.
Yep. So just a reminder, all products as long as fulfilled by our 3PLs or even by DBS, they are all eligible for this stock pickup functionality itself. So next one is what is the maximum amount of pickup points that a store can list?
You can list out as many as you want, but we will recommend picking locations that are centralized so that people can go. And another thing that we really would recommend is that pick the location that the majority of items can be on stock pickup, so that it is convenient, and when a buyer were to select it at your checkout page, most of your items can be checked out from the same location. Yeah.
Okay. So I think for starter strategy for sellers, definitely let's say you have 10 outlets. I don't think you want to list all 10 outlets there. So let's say you list a central outlet and everyone goes to that central outlet just purely for collections. Because previously, I remember I talked to Offensive like they have few outlets in Singapore, but they only designated like one outlet to be the store pickup function, because one is also works well in terms of the operational needs itself, as well as the list of products itself. As you know, stores like Offensive, they have thousands of SKUs. Not all stores have the same set of SKUs. Probably the one that they have at, I can't remember the Bukit Batok, which I can't remember exactly where is it. It's probably more efficiently stocked with more products itself. Alright. So is there a limit of products that the consumer can check out within the store pickup functionality?
No. As long as they want to check out, we do not stop them. 𝐋𝐚𝐳.
If they can't carry, also they can check out.
Can. If they want to, as long as like when they choose store pickup option, they have to manage their own delivery site. So actually it is the whole part about having it delivered and stuff like that. Yeah, and a lot of customers like choose store pickup because they really want maybe the item to not be damaged, and they want to make sure that it's pristine. Yeah.
Alright. So again, if you are a consumer or even a seller, you are doing your store pickup. If you notice that your consumer has extremely big order that is on stop, they have chosen store pickup, please ensure that they're able to carry it out of their store in some way or some form. Because I don't know if it's like, if I'm going to order like maybe let's as example like 5 carton of Coke, impossible for me to carry 5 carton or go home by hand carrying. So these are things that definitely, of course, there is a cost saving side, but also we do need to also take care of the consumers' experience on this itself. So I think moving forward, when we are actually opening to the 1st of September, you mentioned 1st of September, we are actually opening up to all last mile stores on Lazada itself. So is there a minimum amount of SKUs I must have store pickup so that I can always continue to have this service, or is this store pickup a permanent feature that's permanently enabled?
As long as you activate one SKU, you'll be permanently enabled, but we definitely will recommend 100% of SKUs being activated for store pickup, because I think right now we are trying to protect the checkout process of the customer journey of customers using store pickup. The more SKUs that you have available for store pickup, the more likely they will go down to the stores. And actually the benefit of store pickup is that when they go down to your stores, they can actually look around at your stores and see that like, hey, I missed this out on Lazada app, and then they might want to purchase it as well. So by pushing this will also have many other benefits that you'll enjoy.
So I think there's one thing we didn't mention. How is the consumer journey like for store pickup? How does it work? So let's just illustrate how convenient is it actually for the consumer who is actually collecting on their end. How does it work for them?
Okay, so on their end, when they go down to your store, as in via the Lazada app, they can pick out the different items. So for example, I want to go to this brand to purchase a slipper, so I add to cart. And then when they add to cart, there's actually a delivery portion that says the delivery option, and under delivery option there's a store pickup button where they can click on the location. Once they click on the location, it will list out like the different list of pickup location that you have allocated to. They just need to select their preferred location to pick it up from. Once they select, then it will bring them back to the checkout page again. They just need to press checkout and place order, and then like the payment will be made. Once the payment is successful, on the Seller Center app, you will actually see this order coming in. And when the order comes in, you just need to RTS. So meaning to say, you just go to your regular under to pack. It will say something like is this order ready to pick up? Like ready to pick up button, which is in our case RTS. Yeah. So once you click on it, it means it will notify buyers that this order is ready to pick up. So buyers will then go down to your store, show this order and the QR code. All you need to do is just to scan this QR code, and then once it says delivered, you can hand over the item to customer. Yeah. Okay.
So customers will show the QR code via this buyer app. The seller will scan the QR code from the seller app.
Correct.
Yes, so it's actually that simple, right? You just need to scan the QR code, and then the order will immediately change to delivered. Settled.
Yes.
Yeah. Alright, so I think we have, again, Elizabeth have provided a lot of information on like store pickup, but of course, if you do want more information on store pickup, where can they find more information about store pickup?
They can go to Lazada University and search on the search bar, search for store pick up. So store STORE, pick PICK, then with a hyphen in the middle, and UP. You need to really put the hyphen in the middle. And then you'll see like a full module of like what is store pickup about, how to set up store pickup, and then what is the checkout process, and basically how to set up even the voucher that we spoke about in this podcast. Yeah.
Yep. So I think Elizabeth has shared a lot about store pickup. If you're interested to know more, go to Lazada University, search for store pickup. If not, you can just listen to this podcast all over again and listen to what Elizabeth has to say all about the store pickup functionality that we have. Again, just a quick reminder, 1st September, all last mile stores will be enabled store pickup. If you are a marketplace seller, please do send in proof that you have a physical store, and then you can send it to the we will attach the application link below, and this description is in the YouTube description itself, where you can actually apply with your proof of your physical store itself. Alright, before I end this session, do you have any parting words for our viewers?
I hope that you guys will support store pickup, and that we hope to have more collaborative like partnership with O2 and Store Pickup. Yeah. Let us know if you guys have any question.
Okay, if you have any questions, of course, you have to go to the Lazada SG Seller Committee and post your questions. We'll be glad to answer any questions that is available over there. Alright, once again, I want to thank you, Elizabeth, for taking her time off to actually do this podcast with me, and then of course talking about the store pickup functionality as well as new retail team in Lazada Singapore itself. So of course, if there's other topics that you want to listen, please remember to write your comments in the comment page itself. We'll be glad to talk to other teams to see how you can get different approaches and then different views on different products itself, in order to give you a bigger visibility on how the various team in Lazada works itself.
Thanks, Wei Lun, for being such a great host.
Alright, this is the end of this podcast, Laz-Talk. Once again, thank you everyone, and goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Lazada.